Hello everyone, welcome back to SBR Pythons. Today we've got a video suggested by one of you guys in the comments of, I think it was the unboxing video from Ham. Initially I wasn't going to turn it into a video. I wasn't sure there was enough sort of substantial information for me to share with you guys in order to make it into a sort of a video worthwhile for you guys. But I've had a little think about it and I've come up with a few little sort of topics I'm going to talk about today. It's just going to be a video talking about how I run SBR Pythons and how I combine it with my personal life. You guys will get to know me a bit more through this video, what I do in my personal life and stuff like that, and how I manage to fit cleaning, pairing and feeding all of these animals in. That's my sort of basis for the idea. So firstly, I want to talk about how I juggle it with life, but for that I need to talk to you guys a little bit about what I actually have going on in life. So currently I am working as a customer team member just in a co-op food chain. However, I am working my notice and in 2 weeks time I'll be starting a new role as a sales representative or an executive for Nestle, which I'm really excited to get into. Obviously it's got more money involved, so I can get sort of more investment into the hobby, which is fantastic. So it means I'll probably get some more racking and sort of possibly upgrade my genetics as well from what I don't produce from sort of this season. And then on the side I do other things as well, like I go to badminton twice a week, it's 2 or 3 hours on a Wednesday and a Thursday night. Absolutely love it. It keeps me sort of in shape a little bit, not fantastically, because it's not a massive amount of exercise, but definitely gets the heart going, which is always good. And so that's a little bit about what I do in my personal life, and obviously that all takes up time. Currently I'm on a 28-hour contract because initially I worked part-time at the co-op. However, I moved it up to more of a substantial amount of time when I left college, and believe it or not, I've been sort of searching for work as sort of personal people in my life. Some of my really close friends in the hobby who I've spent time talking on the phone to and stuff like that, have supported me through the search. It's definitely not easy, and I've been searching properly since May or June, and I finally got something. But with that comes a full-time contract, so I'll be doing 37.5 hours a week, but I won't be sort of in one place. So like an office job, you're based in an office. When you finish at 5, you'll get home by 25 past 5 every day. For me, that's not the case. I'm going to be driving around my territory. So while I finish at 5 o'clock, I could be at a shop that's an hour and a half away, and I've got to get back still. For me, this is going to make it a little bit harder to juggle this hobby, because, for example, I'm going to be leaving at sort of 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to get to my first shop for the day, driving around my territory, and then coming back here and getting in at sort of earliest, I would say 5, between 5 and 7. And then on those badminton nights, I'll be going out to badminton until sort of 9, 10 o'clock. And then when I'm not, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be planning my route for the next day. And that will take me about an hour, just sort of planning my route around the territory before I can even start cleaning these animals or think about feeding. So it is definitely going to take up more of my time. But I'm going to have to figure out how to juggle that a little bit better as we go. And again, I'm going to get another animal out for you guys, because I know that some of you do like me having my animals out, so at least that's something for you to focus on, and not just a plain old boring background. Speaking of which, before I forget, thank you Lulu, and I can't remember your partner's name, but for the t-shirt. I won this in a charity event for cancer research. I just put a couple of quid in the pot, and I was lucky enough to win it. I've got a black one as well, which I'll probably wear in the next video. I opted for 2 t-shirts because I love wearing other people's merch and representing in the videos. And then also I've got my whiteboard now, so you can see, hopefully it picks up on the camera, I've got my 2020 pairings all down the side there for you guys to see, and for me to see, more importantly. You won't believe how many times I'm talking to people and they want to know how many locks I've had or what pairings and things like that, and it's just nice to have it all in one place where I can just look and see it. And then I've got a little key down here. Maybe I'll go through this in more detail one day, but it's fairly self-explanatory. Blue Cross is a big thumbs up because that's a lock. So you can see like 2 of my parents there have locked every introduction, which is big thumbs up. But yeah, I'll get an animal out for you guys and you can just have a little look over that. So the next thing I want to cover is YouTube. To do this, I've got my black pewter pied out. I've not had this guy out on the channel for a while. The black pewter is obviously a black pastel, and then it's a visual piebald, which is fantastic. As you can see up on the board behind me, this guy's going to 2 females this year. Both of them trying to create that black and white snake, through the panda route. But there is those kinking issues. Hopefully I won't run into them, but I have got a little bit of a backup option with him go to the cinnamon het to hopefully hit the 8 ball pieds so that I can get that black and white snake that I've dreamt of since I first realised that, you know, piebballs were a thing all those years ago. But I want to talk about YouTube, as I say. Now, this is the only part of the hobby I would say that I don't do myself. All of the breeding, the feeding, everything to do with the snakes, pretty much. My family and everyone else, you know, doesn't really you know, everyone's kind of, I don't know, it's one of those phobias where it seems to be sort of drilled into you as a kid. And me and you have probably had the experience of realizing that's not the case, but you know, for them, they haven't. I've tried my utmost to get them into it, and it's just not happening. But that's fine, you know, it's my hobby, it's not for everyone. But YouTube is not something I do on my own. My brother does help me. I tried to get him on the camera, he doesn't want to come out, it's fair enough. But my brother helps me out massively. He does all of the editing work for me and also all the thumbnails. I just kind of stand there and go, I like that, or I don't like that, and he kind of has to work with that, so I appreciate that from him. And the next thing I want to talk about a little bit is rodents. I did used to breed rodents a little bit, mice. I didn't have any success with it. I tried multiple different places in the house, multiple different, you know, conditionings, and I just couldn't have any luck with them. So I ended up giving them up, and I've not got any rodents now, but I do plan on breeding again at some point, probably when I move out, because, you know, the rats are what I want to breed, and my mum doesn't want me to breed them here, which is fair enough. You know, it is ultimately her house for now. But I do eventually want to get into the rodents, which again is more time. So that's something else for me to consider. The way that I would see that working would be on a full-time contract is if I was to do the rats at the weekend, make that my cleaning day as a Saturday or something like that, you know, dedicate the day to it if I had enough. That's something you guys could let me know. I'm sure loads of you breed rats or different types of rodents, sorry. You can let me know how you fit it into a full-time schedule. And the other thing I want to talk about is, I think it was Tyvan's World of Reptiles that asked me this. And he specifically asked, do I want to have a zoo? No, is the simple answer to that. I don't know where that sort of crazy phase is coming from, whether, you know, I know Snake Discovery, are doing it now, and Brian Barczyk has done it. For me, ball pythons is what I love, especially the pied. I don't really want to get into any other things at the minute, especially while I'm still living at home and I've got limited space. And so for me, that's not on the agenda. It wouldn't really be on the agenda anyway, to be honest, because, you know, I don't really have an interest in that. I just have an interest in breeding and creating amazing animals, not necessarily showing them off to people all the time. Finally, I want to talk about facilities as such. So as I say, right now I'm in my bedroom, still living with my parents. This will be the case until I find a partner, because quite frankly, I have too many phobias and fears in life for me to go out and live on my own. Make of that what you will. It's just the way that I see life. And so I'm waiting for sort of a partner to come along before I even think about moving out. So for now, that does limit me and what I can do. I'm planning on either extending these racks up or moving the bedroom around at some point to try and get more in here. But I'm doing what I can with what I've got right now, and that is 20 adult tubs and 44 hatchling tubs right now. You know, whether I need more hatchling tubs at the end of the season is debatable, because it depends if, you know, if all 9 of them go and they all lay at the same time, I'm probably going to need more tubs, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For you, those of you wondering, this is the normal 100% het Ultramel, 50% het for pied, and with those amazing markers, which don't mean necessarily anything, but I'm really hoping and counting on them sort of proving out. You can see the wonderful het Ultramel influence coming down the side. It's a fantastic animal. This one was quarantined for 5 weeks, and I've pulled her out of quarantine now. I tend to do quarantine for about 4 or 5 weeks. You're definitely going to see mites within 4 weeks. Regarding the RI, if they develop one through the transport or anything like that, you should have seen that by 4 or 5 weeks in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I know some people like to quarantine for longer, but it's, you know, their decision. That's just the way that I do it. But yeah, as I was saying about the facility, no, I just plan on eventually doing something like Adam at TA Exotics did, something in the garden, or other people have done it. You know, he's not the only one. Ross McKee, I know you built an amazing facility in your garden, which hopefully I'll visit one day. I plan on doing something like that. That's probably the way I'll go with it. But that was just a little bit of an insight as to sort of how I run SBR Pythons. Oops, sorry, go. How I run SBR Pythons and how I sort of balance it with personal life. Regarding the shows as well, obviously the shows are at weekends, which for me was always an issue because I had to use up all of my holiday going to the shows. But now that I've got weekends off, that's fantastic because it just means I'll book the Mondays off so that I'm not so tired on the Monday after work. and I can actually have some holidays myself. But yeah, just a little update actually on some of the animals in the facility as well, to be honest. I've only got, I think it's one female, which is this one here, which is less than 1 kilo now, which is absolutely fantastic. That's really good news because obviously you want that growth. And as I say, all of my pairings are doing really well. Keep an eye on my social media. This video is going to be coming out on the 24th, I do believe it is. Is it 24th? 24th, 25th, one of the two. Somewhere around when this is being posted, I'm going to do my end of month pairing update. Because as you guys know, I like to introduce the male once a month or twice if they don't lock on the first occasion. So what I'll do is at the end of the month, I'll sort of give you a lock-in update. And you can probably see it on the board behind me already. I've had really good success this month. I've got a couple more pairings I want to try and get in at the end of this week to try and sort of increase my sort of locking percentage for the month. But if not, I'm really happy with what I've already achieved. But I'm rambling off a little bit topic now, which I normally do, to be honest. If you've enjoyed the video, let me know by leaving a like. Leave a comment, how do you balance your hobby, whether that be 5 animals or 50 animals or, like me, 20 animals? How do you balance that with a full-time or part-time contract? And what are your future plans in terms of facilities? Are you looking to get into YouTube? Just, interact, get to know me a bit more. And yeah, you're getting to know me a bit more. And I'd like to get to know some of you a little bit more. Some of you guys that I don't talk to necessarily on a daily basis. For those of you that do talk to me on a daily basis, thank you so much for the support. That's everyone, not just the people that talk to me on a daily basis. But the people that really do support me and go out of their way to give me feedback and stuff like that really goes a long way in making this channel what it is. So I really appreciate that. But yeah, leave a like, comment and subscribe, turn the bell on. Otherwise I'll see you next Sunday for another video. And yeah, take care. Thank you very much, guys.